We are discussing the role of metro rail network, e-buses and the urgent need to improve integrated public transport to combat rising air pollution in Indian cities. Amit, Bhatt, let me come to you. You said, all right, don't worry about the profitability of metros. Dr. Sanjeev Lohia said, look at the future. We have to look at rapid urbanization in India. So don't look at the fact that, the ridership in metros is not meeting the targets as of yet and profitability is not being met. But let me ask you a simple question. Amit, Bhatt, what will it take for people to start using metros? There is a general reluctance I see amongst the well-off in a city like Delhi, which has the largest metro network of 450 kilometers, to use the metro. What are we missing?
Fantastic question. And that's what is, so let's talk about the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is personal transport. So the question is, so if you look at why would anyone use a public transport, be it metro or bus? There are many reasons, but largely two reasons. Either people want to save money or people want to save time. Now, people who want to save money are basically, your latent is a demand that will not go. It will use that system no matter what. So they're compulsive users, right? People who want to save time are choice users. Now, I'll give you an example. A city I live in, Gurgaon. And 10 years back, the city built something called a rapid metro. It was supposed to connect some parts of Gurgaon to Delhi metro. A very good example. Then the city also built a 16-lane road below that metro. And then the agency which built this metro network said, hey, why is no one using my metro? And it's not rocket science to understand that if you have a 16-lane road below a metro, it is much easy for people to use their personal transport, to use their autos, to any other mode. Now, when the ridership went down, the metro agency increased the fare. Now, with increased the fare, the ridership went even further down. And now it's getting into a vicious cycle. So one reason, as we build our public transport, we have to make sure that public transport is affordable so that middle class, lower income class can use the system. We also have to make public transport faster than personal transport, which is that we don't have to expand, we don't have to create these high-speed corridors which favors private transport. Because let's get this fact right. There is no substitute to personal mobility. And if we continue building more roads, more flyover in our cities, people are not going to use metro network, people are not going to use buses, and people will not walk and cycle in our cities. And that's not what we want.
Well, in the break, I had my director telling me that if I had last mile connectivity, the problem is that every time I get down from a metro, I still have to struggle to reach my home or my destination. Dr. Lohia, I think the last mile connectivity, the walking paths around metros, those are all missing. I mean, I would love to walk from my metro station, which is in Hoskas, back to my home, which is 1.5 kilometers. But I really don't even have a place to walk.
In fact, I say many times we are transitioned from world class to third class as soon as we come out of the station. So I'm making a very strong statement, but this is the statement which I had been making right from the beginning. Because unless and until end-to-end experience, because journey is not just by one mode, it is from origin to destination. It is networked connectivity. It is the comfort right from your home back to your office or workplace. So if I do not know after getting down from metro, where will I go, how will I go, their path is not available, the bus is not available, the quality, and the second thing which I always used to say, quality of public transport has to be of that level that it can be sold to public as a branded product. You take pride when you go in public transport and you go in public transport abroad. But what happens when you come to India? Our Honorable Prime Minister has led by example by traveling by metro many times. But does it happen at all levels? We are trying to preach.
You've told us the reason why it does not happen at all levels. You've said that you come out from a world-class metro, but into a third world facilities outside. I mean, the roads, the footpaths, everything needs a desperate upgrade. What about parking? I mean, Amit, do you believe that we've made car ownership extremely democratic in this country, which is good in a way, but we could probably also dissuade in the way Singapore has by increasing parking and the licensing fee dramatically. Is that the way to go as well to dissuade car users?
No, absolutely. And I think parking is one of the lowest hanging fruit, but believe me, it is one of the toughest, because people who buy a 30-40 lakh rupees vehicle are not even ready to pay 10-20 rupees as a parking. Somehow we have got this notion that parking is our birthright. I mean, we can take our car, park anywhere we feel like for any duration of time. And so that has to go. So I think what we have to come up with a good parking policy, especially if you want to encourage people to use metro. The parking should be available at the end terminals, not in the center of the city. What if you look at it's the other way around. So if I live in Gurgaon, sometimes I don't get parking in the end terminals. And what I end up is drive my car all the way to Connaught Place, where I get ample amount of parking. And in fact, it should be the other way around, that I should not get parking in central part of the city. I should get more parking in the end terminals, so that I don't have the incentive to come. So we need to reform
what I'm
parking
hearing is
substantively.
that, look, we're doing a lot, whether it comes to e-buses, whether we have a bus plan with the metro rollout, we are adding road network. But Mr. Siddique, why are we not getting it all together? I mean, ultimately, there is no balance in what will really get people to move to public transport, quality public transport and last mile connectivity. How do we fit the jigsaw pieces in the puzzle?
We have already created Chennai UNTA, Urban Unified Transport Authority, and this unification of the various transport systems is the first thing. So now, providing last mile connectivity of equal standard exactly equal to that of metro rail is very important. It's just not enough to say that a person travels by metro in the comfortable air conditioned comfort and then has to travel in a public bus which does not have air conditioning, which is humid, and these changes have to be made. And even when you're looking at smaller vehicles like shared transport systems like Ola and other things, right? Even there, we need to have a system integration of the two systems.
All right. So unfortunately, we've run out of time and we are also losing your audio in the middle. But Mr. Siddique, we've got the point. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Lohia and Amit Bhatt. Well, we hope we get it right for our collective health, our lungs, because until you get the public transport system right, I doubt if we'll be able to combat this rising air pollution in almost all the big cities of India, Delhi being at the top of that chart. Thank you so much for joining me on the Urban Agenda today. Goodbye.